Hey guys, hey guys, good afternoon. Um, I had a subscriber give me a different way to look at this here, and it's kind of interesting what he found. There's two things I'm going to share with you today, or right now anyway. Is the number he gave me and how he got it, and we're going to look at the spiral. A lot of you mentioned something about the spiral in Oslo, Norway, and I think it was December 9th, 2009, without looking, 2009 or 10. I'd have to look and see. But I'll cover that here in just a minute. But what he sent me was look at this number in a different way, and it was 3653 instead of 3658. So 3, we got our 6, 5. Instead of adding the 3, we're just going to go with the um, the 53. So 5, 3 versus adding them up to 8. So again, Comet 3, 6, 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 6, 5, and 3, 5, 3 versus getting the total here with 8. So I looked at that, and the Greek really hit me hard. So we're going to, I guess, go to that first. 3653 in the Greek is this. Now, let me blow this up just a little bit, I guess. Unripe figs, which grow during the winter, yet does not come maturity, but falls off during the spring. Unripe figs that fall. So that goes back to Revelation 6:13, which I'm going to pull up here in just a minute once I go back to the Hebrew. Now, there's nothing else here, so it's untimely figs of uncertain derivatation. So there's nothing else really to look at here. There's no name, no formal name or anything like that. So it stops there, untimely fig. So let's exit out of that, and we'll go to the Hebrew, 3653. And I thought this was interesting, but it didn't quite fit the way I wanted it to. But it's still pretty interesting. So it comes back to this word, it looks like Ken. And maybe the subscriber can add a little more of what he saw. I'm not even sure which video it was commented on, but this was interesting. So base, stand, pedestal, office, foot, place, or estate. And then you keep going here, 3651. And to be just so, for and so much. It doesn't really give you a whole lot, but it kind of talks about standing, and it talks a little bit about a firm foundation. So you go to 59, and that's where you kind of get a little bit more here. To be firm and stable, and to be established, to be set up, to be established, to be fixed, firmly established, secure, enduring, to be fixed, to be securely determined, fixed upright, arranged and settled, established, accomplished, to make firm. Now, what was interesting as I was looking at all this, the verse, when you go to it, I'll pull it up here for you. And here it is. It says, "And I beheld, I opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair. The moon became as blood, and the stars from heaven fell from the earth, as a fig tree casts her untimely figs." Okay? "When she's shaken by a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, and when rolled together, every mountain and island was moved out of their places. The kings of the earth, the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, every free man, hid themselves in dens and rocks and mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, Fall upon us, hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who is able to stand?" Thought that was pretty interesting. So take that, and then you go back to Obama, December 9th, 2007. Now, this wasn't the day of the peace speech that he gave where there was the spiral, but it's the same day, different year, same exact day. And listen to what he has to say.
The only reason that so many of us are here is because somebody, somewhere, stood up when it was risky. They stood up when it was hard. They stood up when it wasn't popular. They stood up so women could have the right to vote. They stood up so unions could have the right to organize. They stood up so that African Americans could have a seat at the table. They stood up to bring an end to unjust wars. They stood up when they had to stand up. They stood up in the face of fire hoses. They stood up in the face of picket and guards. They stood up in the face of prison. They stood up in the face of threats. That's what we need to do right now. We gotta stand up for America. Stand up for equality. Stand up for justice. Stand up for our children. That's why I'm running. That's why you're here. Let's take back America. God bless you, New Hampshire.
So I thought that was interesting. So that's kind of the end of part 1 here. That's crazy. So we'll go into part 2. So, all right. Okay, so most of you might not, some of you might not remember. I don't hardly remember it. 2009, Obama gave a acceptance speech, and it was the 10th of December in Oslo, Norway. The day before that was a phenomena, and that phenomena is what we're going to talk about. It was a spiral in the sky.
Stargazers have a big mystery on their hands, a giant spiral of light that suddenly appeared over northern Norway. The winding image could be seen for hundreds of miles, fueling speculation that it was anything from alien invaders to a new phenomenon. Alex Marquardt reports from Moscow.
Norwegians were treated to a spectacular light show early Wednesday morning that immediately set tongues wagging, everyone asking what created that giant blue pinwheel in the sky. Speculation has settled firmly on a failed Russian rocket test. Russia's defense ministry has refused to comment, but military sources are telling leading Russian newspapers that there was a test of a Russian Bulava intercontinental ballistic missile that failed yesterday. It had previously been announced that there would be tests of the Bulava in the region between December 7th and 14th, and specifically from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, according to one Russian newspaper. But for now, that's simply the leading theory behind the mysterious blue lights. Alex Marquardt, ABC News, Moscow.
Okay, so that was just to get you wound up a little bit and try to refresh your memory. But it took place December 9th. Okay, we just talked about December 9th in 2007 about this whole stand-up speech. And what we're going to go to, because let's see here. All right, let me get organized here. So this one I thought was an interesting speech from Trump. We just saw a spiral, right?
Obamacare is in a total death spiral. And the problems will only get worse if Congress fails to act. Obamacare is dead. I've been saying it for a long time. Everybody knows it. Everybody that wants to report fairly about it knows. The House of Representatives has done its job. It sent a plan to the Senate, and the Senate is working it over. We spent a lot of time yesterday with Mitch McConnell and a lot of the great senators.
Anyway, I came across this and I saw the title and I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. So let's see what else we can drum up here. So this is just part of his speech on the 10th. Just a couple highlights. I have the whole speech saved, and if you want to look at it, but He's talked about, to prevent nuclear proliferation and climate change. Okay, talked about all that. And go here. That's why I accept this award as a call to action for the challenges of the 21st century. He said, nuclear weapons, elimination of nuclear weapons, climate change, tolerance, people of different faiths and race and religions. Kind of like what he said in that stand-up speech, pretty much. He accepted it on December 10th, gave a speech, 36 minutes long. And of course, we know he's from Hawaii. So why did I tell you all this stuff? I told you all that stuff because today, this came up in my newsfeed in Hawaii.
Is this a fulfillment of the Hopi prophecy of the blue kachina? And, also, is this a portal? Is this blue beam? Comment below. Let me know what you think that this is. I find this very shocking, especially right now, everything that is going on with the planet. The planet is speeding up. The clocks can't keep up. And now we have this blue kachina, this blue spiral in the sky above Hawaii. And this was spotted by a Japanese telescope. And so things are beginning to pop prophetically perfectly into place. And now we got this blue spiral in Hawaii. It is mind blowing. All right, guys, I'll see you. Bye.
So his channel, it's Wallytron 101. If you want to check him out. In this one video, it's kind of the same information, but at least you can see CNN headlines, so if you want to go check it out, you can. But
hey guys, this is Wallytron 101. I found this very, very interesting. Look at this. A Japanese telescope has captured a spiral. A Subaru telescope noted on Twitter it seems to be related to the recent launch of a new SpaceX satellite. Look at that spiral. That is very... Comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Could this be blue beam? I don't know. But let me see if I can go back here. Look at that thing. That is pretty wild. We've seen these before. We've seen these spirals. But if this was blue beam, you would see light coming up here. So this is something totally different. Of course, they're going to say that it was, a SpaceX launch, but that is something totally different. That looks like a portal opening up right there. And there's also something really bright down there at the bottom. It's like a huge planet star, coming close there. So comment below. Let me know what you think about this. This is
so just out of curiosity, I took the liberty to find out what was the dates or the time frame between the two, between the December 9th event and the event or today's. And I was kind of blasted to find out it was 4796 days. So I went to 4796, of course, right? And this is what I find. So we have Marth, which anything with Mar is usually bitterness. And hold on just a second. Okay, apologize. Just want to make sure everything was straight up here. So 4796, again, 4,796 days from December 9th until today. We see that blue spiral over Hawaii through Japanese telescope. And it comes back to bitterness, Marth, bitterness. You go to 4751, it expands it a little further. Of food and water, bitterness of food and water. Okay? At Harlan's end of wickedness. Pain. Bitterly, angrily. Okay? And you go to the Greek, it's the exact opposite. Rejoice, take part in another's joy. Rejoice together to congratulate. That's with, I don't know. It must be just a... Rejoice, be glad exceedingly, to be well, to thrive. All these different greetings and happiness, and hail and joyfully. So, what's that tell you? it kind of tells you what we talked about yesterday. On one hand, God's going to be our provider. God's going to make sure everything's good. All we have to do is go to him. We stay in him, everything's going to be fine. Okay? It's when you start going towards the beast system, or in the Bible it's called, you'll see it in the Bible somewhere. It's usually, I think, Isaiah, possibly, where it's not really talking about the Egypt of yesteryears, when Israelites were leaving and them going back to Egypt. It's talking about going into Egypt, going back to Egypt for help. And that's what we saw yesterday, Osiris. So going to him for help. He's going to have good words. He's going to have strong words and everything else. But it is it's a bitter end, is what it is. So I want to pull up some scripture here, and we'll take a look at that real quick. So Wormwood is in the Bible 8 times. It just so happens to be in Revelation 8, which I found interesting. But this is what I think it's pointing to. Could be. And a third angel sounded, and there fell a star from heaven, burning as it was a lamp. Now, it's not a lamp, okay? We gotta think here outside the box, okay? So yeah, we're looking at this comet. It looks like it's this bright comet burning as a lamp, but this is a false lamp. It's a false light, okay? It's a false hope. It's a false system. It's a system to replace a system that's here. It's a broken system to replace a broken system. So this, as it were, means you need to pay attention to this, kind of, sort of, but not really a lamp. There is no light here. This is a false light. Okay. Fell upon the third of the rivers and the fountains of the waters. And, we can get into, okay, the V and everything else with this. That's, our bodies are made of water. Okay. We talked about carbon and all that yesterday, but yes, our bodies also have water. What's not substance in our body is water. All right, H2O, which makes them bitter. Okay, so some of you ask questions about that. Read between the lines on that. Body's made of water. We're made of water. We're water sacs. And is this going to make them bitter? Could. Okay. So burning as if it were a lamp fell upon a third of the rivers and the fountains of the waters, and the name of the star was called Wormwood. The third part of heaven became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. So, again, as I said it before in other videos, you're going to have a choice to make. Trust in the Lord or give in to bitterness and follow that system. That's really it. If you look at the concordance, we can go there. Let's see here. And look at lamp. Torch, light, lamp. So that's exactly what we're seeing falling, coming towards the earth. It's a false light. It's a false shining. It's a false lamp. It's not the lamp of God. Otherwise, it wouldn't make them bitter. Calamity, bitterness. Name of a star which falls. So anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.